it's very sad to see, someone who I looked up to and someone who I really admired and someone who I was, proud to say was a part of the organization I support with my whole heart and everything. Every fiber in my body says I'm a true Sixers fan, and everything within me, supports every single guy on that roster. And it's just unfortunate to see, some of his recent actions. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back. This is the Echols Unlimited podcast. I'm your host, Terrence Echols, and today I have the privilege to be joined by a fellow creator. His name is Mitch Kofsky. Mitch, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just glad to be here. And let's talk Sixers, dude. Happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. And the one thing that you and I both have in common is that we are both Philadelphia 76ers fans. That's the reason why, we sort of linked up in the first place. We did a collaboration on your channel. Now you're coming on my channel. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep. All good, man.
Yeah,
Excited. Let's do this.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, first and foremost, let's get your background. What is your background as a Sixers fan? How long have you been a fan and why are you a fan?
So, I've been a fan for as long as I can remember, dude. Like, I think I've been a fan ever since I was like 4, maybe even 3. Who knows? But my favorite player of all time is Allen Iverson right there. My first ever jersey. I still need to get that signed. I mean, not signed, framed.
Framed,
Still
yeah.
need to get that framed, and he's actually going to be at the place I work. So I'm trying to like volunteer for that, like secretly. So I'm like, hey, can I volunteer for this? I did it for Joel Embiid when he came last year. It was
Yeah.
Embiid, Horford, Ellen Brand. So I want to do that again. So I'm just like praying here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back in 2000, 2001, when they made it to the finals, that's my favorite team of all time, despite how bad they were built around AI.
Right.
That was the first time I ever got to see the Sixers in the finals. And Allen
Yeah.
Iverson, that step over and everything. I remember the moment. I was exactly like yesterday, dude. I was in my family room. I was sitting down on my couch, and he did a step over. I'm like, wait, what? No, he didn't. No. And I had to rewind when it came out later on the internet or something. There
Yeah.
wasn't yards then. So I'm like, did that really happen? I guess it did. But it's just like, yeah, Iverson's my guy. Joel Embiid's my favorite player right now. So yeah, and I started content creating like 6 years ago. And I do a Sixers video here and there. I did movies reviews. I did video games, and then I started picking back up last year. So I love this, man. I love the Sixers, even though we're going through some things right now, and
Yeah.
you and I would definitely talk about that. It's just rough right now as a Sixers fan.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And if you don't mind me asking, how old were you back when the Sixers made the finals?
So I'm 27 right now. I was born in 1994, so probably 6, 7.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, because I was thinking like, oh man, he can remember that. Like, okay, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. No, that's great. And then I was gonna ask about your YouTube background. You say you've been working on content for about 6 years now. So how's that been going for you?
So I've been doing it off and on for 6 years. Like I started doing movie reviews because I love movies, and I did VGRT, Video Game Review Thursdays, and every Thursday and every Monday I would review a movie, a video game here and there. But here's actually the funniest thing though. My best friend at that time, his name, I'm not going to say his name right now, but he was like a big reaction channel with like 20K subs or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I can do this. So he gave me a couple pointers here and there. I would always love him for that. He's my guy, even though we're not like on best terms right now, but we're good. But it's just like, dude, I can do this. It's fun. And that's when I started picking up. And then back in 2019, I was doing this challenge where I would upload every single day in the month of June. And I got so burnt out, dude. I needed a
Okay.
break, and I took a
Yeah.
year off. I took a
Okay.
year or two off. And then I came back when it was COVID because think about it, we didn't do anything. So
Right.
I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I'm like, you know what? I got my camera. I got all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? And this is the best time I've ever been on YouTube. Like, because I'm a part of the Sixers community, Eagles community, WWE community, AEW community, all that stuff, which is great. Back then, I was like, I wasn't part of a community. I was like doing my own thing, a challenge video here and there. But
Right.
now I'm like, I got people who fuck with my content. Sorry for the language, but
That's fine.
it's like, it's great, dude. It's great. I love this. And I got to meet great people like yourself, Spotlight Sports Network. Shout out to you. Subscribe to them and a lot of other cool people that I would never get the chance to meet. To me, it's not about making money.
Right.
That's the ultimate goal. But for me, it's like it's a hobby. I love doing this. I've been making a video every single day since last November, dude. Last
No
November.
way.
And I'm like, I love this, man. I love this. Just keep going. And sure, a couple times I was like, okay, I've been thinking I need a break. But then I'm like, I'm in a good position right now. I'm not doing anything still. Just keep going. And today I uploaded like 2 shorts, 1 video. It's like, it doesn't stop. Keep going.
Yeah. Keep going. I mean, you mentioned Justin Anderson earlier. When we were talking before we started recording, he's my favorite player, obviously. That's like his slogan. It's just keep going, man. I love that. Love to hear it.
Really, I didn't even know that. That's actually
Yeah.
great. Wow. Say-
Few people do know that, man. The proud, the Justin Anderson fans, man. There are a few of us, but we definitely, we ride for him strong.
Yeah,
Um,
because you're talking so highly on Justin Anderson. I actually need to do a like research on him. I want to learn more because you love this guy. So I'm
Absolutely.
like, he's not like he's underrated, you would say, right? He's
Oh,
underrated.
extremely underrated. Yeah.
Okay, so
Extremely.
I'm like, all right, give me some time and you and I will come back on my channel. We'll talk about Justin Anderson or something.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Perfect. I'm down for that whenever, man.
yeah,
Absolutely. Um, all right, so let's get into it. There's a reason why we're here. There's a reason why, we're both in pretty bad moods today. It's because our beloved 76ers and one of their star players, Ben Simmons, has been acting a fool these past few weeks. And I'm now going to admit he has been acting a fool. I came on your channel and I tried to defend him. I made a video about a month and a half ago trying to defend him. And all I've done is defend this man and defend this man and defend this man. And his actions of late are just inexcusable. I can't defend them, and I don't really support what he's doing right now.
right.
I'm still a fan. I still want the best for him. I still want him to be happy. But I'm in no way condoning his behavior recently.
So for me, I just want him out of here, man. Like I just want him out of here. It's getting it's he's acting like a child. You agree,
Yeah,
right? He's acting
yeah,
like a child. He's not doing anything. He's been fined 1.3 mil for the first 4 preseason games. He's gonna get fined for the suspension tomorrow for the opener. And I'm like, dude, just get out. Just get out of here. I can't take it. I was at Dick's Sporting Goods, like I was telling you,
yeah,
and I found this Ben Simmons shirt for sale. I took a picture of it. It's on my Twitter. I'll send it to you so you can put it up for your video.
yeah.
Um, uh, I stuck my middle finger at the shirt, dude, and I took a picture. Like I had. That's how bad I hate this guy.
Right.
It was like I commend. I like applaud you for still being a fan of him. Like I can't take it anymore. I just
Yeah.
can't. He's acting like a diva, and to
Yeah.
me, it's just like that's not a man. That's not a man at all.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's pretty bad, man. I don't know what it took and how it got to this point. I can't believe it's gotten to this point. But it's pretty shameful. So let's backtrack about 4 years ago when the
Okay.
Sixers took him number one in the draft. What were your original thoughts on him and his fit with the team?
Okay. So I'm gonna be straight up here. I thought he was good. Like he was making 3 pointers in college. He was like making small fadeaways and everything. Like his passing ability, his IQ, top notch.
Hmm.
Top notch. I thought it was a great pick. And there's content creators out there that said, "Oh, I didn't want him from the beginning. I didn't want him from the beginning," and I call BS. I
Right.
honestly call BS on that because look, 6'10", fast. He can do all this stuff, right? And I'm just like, okay, started the process. And then that summer league, I will never forget
Excellent.
this
Yeah.
pass. I don't know if you can find it on the internet, but he did like this behind the back pass and went off the defender's leg into the teammate and went up. I'm like, dude, Magic Johnson esque right there. And I'm like, okay, then got injured and all
Right.
that stuff. Like,
As every
yeah, but
Sixers
in the
player
beginning,
the past, 10, 15 years.
yeah. And I'm like, dude, this guy has a talent. I knew he kind of did not have a jumper, even though in the summer league he had like a little bit. I'm like, you know what? He can develop. We have Markel Fultz then, or did we? What's the Markel Fultz
Markel was the year after.
after? Okay,
Because
so my
he
bad.
didn't play and Joel only played like 31 games.
Right, Joe. Yeah. Okay, so then I was like, you know what? Let's see what this kid can do. Then he gets injured, and now we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you hit it right on the head. A lot of people had, high hopes for him coming out. And it wasn't until that first playoffs where we sort of saw, okay, he might have some holes in his game. What was your thought during that first playoff
Can
series
you give
against the
me
Celtics?
who were they playing?
It
I'm
was
drawing
the
a blank.
Celtics. I remember I was
It
a
was the
freshman
Celtics
in
the first
college.
time around.
Yeah, yeah. It
Okay.
was it was I think Tatum was a rookie. Jalen Brown was in his second year. The Celtics had Horford, of course, who was the Embiid stopper at the time.
And then he went back to the Celtics, which is funny.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So for me, that it's like, I mean, he didn't shoot, but he was still aggressive at this point.
Yeah.
So he was still like, he wanted to go to the rim. He was fine. He was doing everything right that series. But
Yeah.
then when we played the Celtics the second round or the second time go around, he wasn't on the floor. I'm like, okay. His defense was spectacular, and obviously we missed that. But
Mhm.
then it's just like, okay, he's not trying to get any better now. He's like not owning up to anything. And it's just like, dude, look at Giannis, for example. I'm watching the game right now.
Yeah.
He's changed his game up, improving every single day. Did you see his 3-point shot now?
Oh, it looks pretty fluid. It looks a lot better than it did last season for sure.
Exactly.
His,
Exactly
his
my
pull
point.
up game looks nice. His mid range, like all you really need is a mid range jump shot as an NBA player. If you're that big and athletic and good at defense, like you really just need a mid range shot. That's it.
Right. And I'm just like, just shoot the ball. You can
Mhm.
see him in those workouts. You and I talked about that in my live stream. Like he was doing all this stuff, but he would never do it in the game. I'm
Yeah.
like, where's that old Ben? Where's that old Ben? I was actually asking myself this the other day, and I'm like, that Ben is better than this Ben right now. Like to me,
Yeah.
his career kind of went down
Well,
when you
offensively for sure. Offensively for sure.
offensively,
I think
yes.
he's improved his defense. He's literally a top tier defender now. I mean, when he's trying, he hasn't
Yeah,
tried
yeah,
so
I
far.
agree with that. Like defense is the most important part of the game, along with shooting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just don't get it, man. I just
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah. And then let's fast forward to this season. What were your thoughts on his performance in this past playoffs?
So this past playoffs, or do
Yeah.
you want to go through the season first?
Um all right, yeah, you can give me both. How about that?
Okay, so for the season, like in the beginning of the year, he had the lowest number of his career, lowest numbers across the board.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
He was coming off surgery though.
yeah, I
There
was
was
gonna
no
get into that.
preseason.
He was coming off this surgery, no preseason. I'm like, okay, give him a couple months, and then also game comes. The
Mhm.
first 2 weeks, he drops like 42 points on Utah Jazz, and I'm like, this is the Ben we need. This
Yep.
is the Ben we need in the playoffs, right?
Mhm.
And then after the All Star nod, he's like, he did nothing. Like he did nothing for the rest of the season, and I'm like, where's the drive? Tobias Harris got snubbed. He's still
Yeah.
an All Star to me. I'm telling you right now, if Ben Simmons was not on that team, Tobias would have got All Star.
Yeah. Yeah,
Done.
no, I agree. I agree. I thought Tobias is now my favorite Sixer. I love Embiid. I love everything about him. But yeah, Tobias has to be my favorite Sixer. He came in, he had stuff he needed to improve on from the first year with Jimmy Butler, but he came in last year. He was literally 20 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, a couple assists on almost 50, 40, 90. So
Yep,
doesn't get
yep.
much better than that.
So Tobias, man, I'm telling you, when he's under Doc Rivers, he's like a different beast. He's a different human being. And
Right.
I thought this past year he wasn't even going to top that Clippers days and he proved me wrong. And I'm like, thank you. I love when players prove me wrong. Sure, I look like an idiot, but
Yeah.
it's like that's the guy I want. That's the guy I actually want. And I'm just going to say this right here. You talk about your favorite player, Tobias. Mine
Mhm.
is Joel Embiid
Right.
because not just for the game, not just a best center in the league, MVP, all that. Especially how he's handled this Ben Simmons situation. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been speaking up. He like today, he was like, I don't care about him anymore. I'm done. I don't
Right.
babysit him. I'm not his wife and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, okay. We need someone like this. But here's the kicker. I had the Sixers writer on my show. Shout out Austin Krell. Shout out to you. We're gonna do some more stuff. And he's just like, I didn't like Joel Embiid doing that because why would the other teams want him after Joel Embiid is saying all this stuff about Ben Simmons? But I'm like, he needed to say this to show what everyone Ben Simmons is really like. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, Joel Embiid did the right thing. You agree with me there or the writer?
No, I think he's justified in, being honest and being truthful, with the media. And I agree, I think all Embiid, the only thing Embiid said that, can be considered as a slight was you asked this man, mind you, this man just got eliminated from the playoffs by Trey Young and the Atlanta Hawks. And you asked this man, "Oh, what do you think the turning point in the game was?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he answered it truthfully. And he
Yeah.
said, "Oh, we had a missed opportunity, on that play, under the basket." He didn't exactly he didn't say it explicitly, I remember, but he pretty much alluded to it. Everyone knew what he was talking about. So he said that was the turning point in the game. And I don't have any problem with him saying that. I think that he's, justified in saying that. And then everyone all summer was like, "Oh my gosh, he shouldn't have said that. That's what's going to make Ben not want to play here anymore." But all Embiid has done since then and before that was support him. Nothing but support. I mean, until now, when literally Ben Simmons shows up 3 weeks late and
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't even care.
It's just it's crazy. He's stepping up for the locker room. He's stepping up for the city of Philadelphia. And I'm like, that's the guy we need. That's the guy who has the Philadelphia grit. Allen Iverson grit, the jersey right over there. That
Mhm.
grit that you need to have in this city. Because if you suck, you're gonna get booed.
Yeah.
And I also asked Austin Carell, the writer, I'm like, how do you think the Sixers fans should boo Ben Simmons? And he goes, no. He goes, no, because it looks bad on us. But then I'm like, how does it look bad on us? We have a first overall pick. He had all this stuff, like he had all these things, and then he lets us down. I'm like, we have the right to boo, and I feel like he's gonna get booed out of the stadium, out of Wells Fargo. What do you think?
Um, yeah, I mean, people are just people can, have their opinions and do whatever they want as long as you're not hurting the man or you like saying like go kill yourself or something like that, things that are just completely inappropriate and wrong to say to a person. Like I think they're justified in saying, in booing him or, being disappointed or upset with his behavior. I don't have any problem with that at all. I personally wouldn't, but at the end of the day, people are people. I myself, I can't control them. I can't tell them what to do.
Right, right.
Oh,
And there's this other Sixers content creator. I'm not going to say his name, but he made a video of him getting season tickets. And he was like, am I going to boo Ben Simmons? No, I'm
yeah,
not. Because he knew what Ben Simmons was when he got out of the LSU to here. And I still call BS on that. Like, I call BS on a lot of things going on the internet. People lie for clicks.
yeah,
And I'm just like, there's no way you've seen that. I'm like, there's no freaking way. Look at
yeah,
the high school, look at the college tape, look at the summer league tape. I'm like, he was doing everything.
right.
But then it's just like, you can't correct these people, like you said. So if I'm going to one game this year, I am.
Okay.
But am I going to boo him? Probably. It's me. Like, I boo this guy. Like,
Right.
oh, trust me. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. My friends are like, Mitch, whenever you talk to a Ben Simmons fan, be nice. Be nice. I'm like, are you serious right now? I'm like, bro, Like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna boo, obviously.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to do whatever you want. And I mean, I respect it. That's your opinion. You're gonna act on it. And his opinion is he wants to leave, and he's acting on it. But the difference is, you're a paying fan of the organization that supports them wholeheartedly. He's an athlete getting paid by the organization, becoming wealthy from the organization, uses the organization's platform, represents the organization. So, it's a bit of a different mixed bag here, and what you're able to do and how you go about it. Um, so what was your immediate reaction to the stories about Ben Simmons wanting to leave?
I saw it coming from a mile away. Like, ever since the game 7 mishap, with the eyeball pass in it, I
Yeah,
knew that was happening. I knew it was coming. We all did. And it's just like, he doesn't want to be here anymore. He was not holding himself accountable here. He's scared of shooting the ball and us. When you're
yeah,
scared of fans, our reaction, you don't belong here. No.
right.
The main reason he wants to go to LA. He's a part of Phase. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Mhm.
he's a part of Phase. He's got his house, summer, beautiful weather. LeBron James is there, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah, he wants out. He's not grit enough. And this actually still bothers me. He said he will never play another game for here again in Wells Fargo, right? What if your team comes to play us? Are you really going to be sick? Like, this guy mentally is like so out of, like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah. None of it makes sense to me either, and that's what I really don't understand. See, when I first saw, okay, he's holding out, I thought this was Rich Paul, trying to pull one on the Sixers, trying to force himself into a trade, and then I'm like, it must not be that, because he showed up and he doesn't care. He shows up and he's not giving any effort whatsoever. So I'm like, okay, this guy really wants to leave. It's not just about the money, even though he came back mostly because
Yeah,
he was missing out on, $8 million, and I don't care if you're the richest man in the world. If you miss out on $8 million for not showing up to work for a couple weeks,
that's just disrespectful. That's
yeah,
just common sense
yeah, you're
right
just
there.
you're gonna start showing up to work. Um,
Yeah. So the
but
funny thing is about Rich Paul. Like, you
yeah,
know how he became an agent, right? You know that whole
yeah,
story. Right?
he's LeBron's best friend, and yeah, he
No,
helped
you know
him out.
how LeBron found him though?
No,
In the mall selling jerseys.
really.
Yes. So what I'm going with that is the contract. The contract is like, okay, we can make this money back. It never said that. So he doesn't even know how to read a contract. And I'm like, he's never been to law school. He never got a degree in anything. So I'm just like, he's
I
not.
thought he I thought he did undergrad at Akron.
Did he? Oh,
That's what I heard. I mean,
well,
I'm not
maybe
sure.
he did. I don't know. But you gotta know from a contract if you're getting fined, you're not getting that money back.
Yeah.
Like, you're not. Like, if you go to a new team, if you go to the Kings, Lakers, Clippers, whatever, you're not getting that money back. No.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like, makes no sense to me.
Right. Yeah. No. And then, um, what did you think? Okay, what did you think about Doc's comments after the Atlanta Hawks loss? When he said that, I don't think he's a championship point guard. I don't think it's fair to judge Doc's whole opinion on Ben Simmons based on one comment that happened immediately after they just lose game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. I don't think that's very fair to ask him that question, and for the media to paint it so, oh, Doc doesn't want him and B doesn't want him because of what those two said immediately after the game. Obviously you ask them the questions immediately after the game, they're going to give you answers that are somewhat, guided by their emotions. It's a very emotional time.
So here's my thoughts about the whole comments thing. Where was that all year? He was defending Ben Simmons all year, and now you
Yeah.
come out with it in game 7 in the moment. Like, And then here's the funny thing. I think he was on First Take with Stephen A. like a month ago or something. And he was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, we can win a championship with Ben." I'm like, "Bro, what? You said we couldn't in a game 7. Now you now he kicked him out." It's just like
Yeah.
Doc had enough of him.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, coming from my own perspective, I have a little bit of a different perspective in seeing like what coaches say to you day to day and the stuff that they say to like the media. That's like something Doc would say to Ben behind closed doors that I
Right.
think, because he was in such an emotional state at the time is why he said it to the media. And normally that'd be something behind closed doors because a lot of times coaches will say stuff and they'll switch on you from day to day, depending on your performance for the day, they'll be brutally honest with you. Doc Rivers, in my opinion, is a great coach. I know he's had his struggles with, losing leads and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, he's a champion. He's been an NBA coach for over almost 2 decades,
Yeah, right,
and
right.
his resume speaks for itself. He's almost he has very few losing seasons. He has very few years without an All Star and coaching quality players. So I think he's top tier. One of the 10 best coaches in the NBA right now.
For me right now, after what I've just seen and knowing what he did with the Clippers, for these past 2 seasons, I think he's overrated. But
Yeah,
for me, he's still a Hall of Fame coach. He's
yeah,
still a Hall of Fame coach.
mhm,
All that. And people are gonna be in your comments be like, Hall of Fame coach, what? What? Look at his resume. Look at his resume. I'm like, I wanted this guy ever
yeah.
since
Same,
he left from the Clippers.
same.
I forget who we were gonna get at that time, but I'm like, okay, Doc, grab him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we got like Sam Cassell as one of the coaches, Dan Burke,
He has a
like
great staff.
yeah, and like the one of the best front office and Peter Dinwiddie, and
Mhm.
all these guys, and I'm like, okay, we did all this. Doc came for Ben Simmons, so Daryl Morey came for Ben Simmons. It's just like we all
And
came
Joel
for this.
Embiid.
Yeah, Joel Embiid too, but it was mostly Embiid and Ben
The
Simmons was
duo,
second.
yeah, the
Yeah,
duo.
they came for the duo, but now it's just like enough is enough. There was actually this meme I saw on Twitter today. Daryl Morey outside of the jet going to the Pelicans, and he was on the phone. It's like you could see his mouth and be like, 2 draft picks, two. Nope, he hangs up. I'm like, bro, what? Like
Yeah.
that's not even gonna nah. We're in a dark
Okay.
spot right now. Uh,
Right.
yeah, I always loved Doc, even though he was a coach of the Celtics. I always did. I mean,
Right. Yeah. You
honestly.
cannot forgive him for that. We absolutely cannot forgive him for that, for sure.
And people out here, this just came to me. People hate him because of his rotations in this past playoffs, and I'm like, okay, the rotations were bad. Wouldn't you agree?
Um, I'm trying to think some of the rotations he'd have. Also, you have to keep in mind Danny Green was hurt, so he had Danny Green the whole season up until that series. Lose Danny Green in what, game one?
Was it game 1 or game 2? I think you're right. It's game 1. Yeah,
Yeah, game one of that series. So I mean, and then shaking up the rotations after that, it's gonna be hard for anybody.
yeah, but it's just like they didn't play Maxi at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Isaiah
But he,
Joe,
he's
who's
also
my
a
X
rookie.
factor this year, Isaiah Joe needs to play more.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
were, they
like,
were both rookies though, so I mean, you're not really
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
play
Oh,
them in a playoff environment like that,
oh yeah,
unless
yeah. Yeah.
they're like,
For me, I'm gonna hate this. I'm gonna hate saying this. I said it before. I'm a big Korkmaz fan. You know that. I'm a huge Furkan Korkmaz fan, and Isaiah Joe needs to play more than him.
all right, what about B-ball Paul?
B-ball Paul, who's our backup power forward? George's Niang.
Uh,
Yeah, we got
Probably
Niang and Drummond, right?
right now. I
So
mean, Drummond will play center. I
yeah,
mean, backup power forward. If we really want to talk, it might be Ben right now. So
no, I mean I'm not. I'm throwing Ben out the window right now.
yeah, yeah.
It's George's Niang and his 3 point
Mhm,
shooting. So
mhm.
with B-ball Paul, I see him going up and down in G League back up. I see that. I don't see him getting more minutes. I'm being honest here. It
Yeah,
hates me to say that again. And
yeah,
you didn't like that I love Korkmaz. I could see that in your
yeah.
face.
Yeah, honestly, he had the remember the game winner against the Trailblazers.
Yes.
He's had moments like that. I love the fact that him and Matisse are best friends.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
he's been loyal to the Sixers. He's given the organization his all. I'm just not a huge fan of his game. You
Yeah.
know,
A lot of people say that. For me,
I think he's
because whenever
supposed to be a shooter, but he's not consistent enough to be a shooter. So
that's
he tries
exactly
to
where
make
I was
up for
getting
it
at.
in effort and
That's
defensive
exactly where I
stuff.
was getting at, dude.
He's not athletic
Because
enough to do that. So it's like, oh, what are you
yeah,
doing?
because I just do this every time. I make a video and be like, see, I was from Corkbox from the beginning. Like, where's everybody? I was like, I love Corkbox. And the name's just funny. Like, I
Right.
love
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Turkey.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, no, that's great. All right. So now let's get to something, a little bit more fun, so we can, release ourselves from this burden of, having Ben Simmons on the Sixers, at the moment. He's not cutting it. He's
No,
not, to put it lightly. To put it
yeah,
lightly.
yeah.
Um, what is your ideal trade scenarios? And let's just spitball, go back and forth for a little bit because I got a few ideas myself.
Well, okay. Well, I don't think this is going to happen now. Besides, is a restricted free agent. My ideal was Colin Sexton and Kevin Love for Ben Simmons. That was my first one, but now he's a restricted free agent. It's just like, well, there goes that idea.
Sexton or Love?
Colin Sexton.
Oh, okay, okay.
He's a restricted free agent. So
Mhm.
I'm like, no, that won't work.
Yeah.
They have so many centers, anyways. Like, they just signed Taco Fall.
Right. Yeah.
They have
No,
two.
I don't understand the whole Sixer or the whole Cavs roster construction because they had Mobley out there with Jarrett Allen, and then Kevin Love was playing the three. So I mean,
Why didn't
not
they
mind
trade
you, it
Kevin
was
Love?
preseason. It was preseason.
I, I don't care. Kevin Love can't play the three.
Right. I
No.
I, I don't know. In today's NBA, the three he's matched up with guys like LeBron, Kevin Durant, Chris Middleton, like those types of guys. They're cooking him alive.
Yeah, obviously. And it's actually kind of funny how LeBron is on Kevin Love despite the whole thing.
Right.
It's actually kind of hysterical to me.
They're actually good friends, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
yeah, I know. LeBron's good friends with everybody.
Pretty much, yeah. The king of networking,
Pretty
if
much.
if you ask me.
Pretty much.
He literally got every all-star from 2012 on his team. It's all part of his master plan. If
So I was a part of this NBA roundtable last night, and there's this Lakers fan on it. He's a bandwagon, honestly. And we were just like, I've fallen. I can't get up. You got a life alert? Like, we would just keep on saying that over and over throughout the whole hour. It was
Oh
great.
God, that's hilarious.
I found this picture. I'll send it to you after.
Yeah.
This picture's hilarious. I'll send it to you after.
So what do you think the Sixers need to get for Ben?
A point guard.
Yeah, I think
Who's our
they
starting
need
point guard? Is it
they need
Maxey or is it Shake Milton? Or is
yeah.
it Korkmaz? Korkmaz did play point guard in the preseason.
No way, really? I
He did
didn't watch
against the
any
Nets.
preseason. I
He
didn't
was
watch any
double
preseason.
teamed. Kevin Durant and James Harden had to double team Korkmaz.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, they probably double team him because they probably always like, oh, let's double team him. I know we're gonna get a steal out of him. That's interesting. I like Shake, but I think he's great. He's great off the bench.
yeah.
And I like Maxi, but I think he needs a lot more reps. He needs a lot more reps becomes before he gets handed the keys of this franchise as the franchise point guard. But he definitely has the potential to be that.
So
And
would you have Curry there?
not at point guard, not at point guard.
Exactly. So
I
like,
don't even think his brother should be considered a point guard.
oh my god.
His
Yeah.
his brother is an elite finisher. He's an elite shooter. He's elite moving without the ball. If you're
He changed
smart and
the
you're the
game.
Golden State Warriors, you put someone who can distribute and play make for others on the same team as Steph Curry, and he is averaging 40 points per season. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, he can average 40. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
But he's averaging like 39 and 8 or 9 and 7 or something like that.
yeah,
It's just like he can average a double double when
yeah,
needed. So
yeah.
yeah. My dad called Steph Curry a Curry light.
Curry light. I saw I think it was Josh Eberly. I don't know if you follow him on
I
Twitter.
heard of him.
He posted on Twitter during the playoffs, when Seth was having a great run. He had a great run this postseason.
Oh, yes, he did. Yeah.
Um they said Seth Curry is CJ McCollum without a podcast.
Uh, it took me a second. It
I
took
thought
me a
that
second.
was great. I thought that was great because I mean, it's a pretty good, very like a guy with point guard size who is great creating his own shot, can catch and shoot off the dribble, pull ups. Like he has every move in the book offensively, but defensively, lacks a little. But
Right.
I think the Sixers definitely need a point guard and a defender, and hopefully a point guard that's willing to shoot, willing and able of shooting, and a guy who can defend at a high level because that's what they need out of Ben Simmons, and that's what they're going to lose out of Ben Simmons is
Yep.
his
I
elite
agree.
defense and
And
his
honestly, I could see the lineup being like this. I could see Curry at the one. I don't like it. I don't want it. But I could see Curry at the one.
who's the playmaker then?
Just let me finish.
Okay,
It's
okay.
Curry. It's no playmaker. That's the thing.
Oh,
It's Curry, Green, Thibault for the defense, and you got Harrison and Embiid. But obviously that would not work. But for the defense, I gotta put Thibault there.
mhm.
So it's just like once you put in the defense, we lose playmaking. If you put in the playmaking, we lose defense. So
Yeah,
obviously, we're probably not going to get both.
yeah. The only guy I can think of who I don't really want the Sixers to trade for is DeJounte Murray.
Really? You don't want Murray?
I don't really want them to trade for him because he's not a very consistent shooter. I know him and Matisse played together in college. That would be cool.
That would be nice.
See
Yeah.
them together again. But I'm still very you know iffy on that. And I think sending Ben Simmons to the San Antonio Spurs to deal with Greg Popovich would be, sweet,
Popovich
sweet
said he wants him.
revenge.
Popovich said he wants him.
Yeah.
That was like a while ago, but I don't know
It'd be
now.
sweet, sweet, sweet revenge, him having to deal with a coach who's, more demanding and more assertive and more, controlling than any coach he's probably ever played for. So,
This is actually Popovich last year, this year or next year. So
oh, okay.
yeah. So I'm like, put Simmons over there. I love you, Pop, but take him.
Right.
But
If they're even willing to give away Derek White as well,
I'll take Derek White.
maybe Keldon Johnson,
Okay. Okay.
Keldon Johnson and DeJounte Murray, or Derek White and DeJounte Murray? Am I getting too,
I can see that. We got to throw a couple
getting
picks in
too
there.
ambitious?
Obviously, we need like at least a second round pick. But
Yeah.
dude, this is amazing. We were so close to getting James Harden. Now we're talking about DeJounte Murray, and this is insane. You
I
know,
know, dude. I know. Think about a year ago, literally a year ago, we were talking about the Sixers. Would the Sixers be giving up too much by trading for James Harden?
with
And I
Ben
think
Simmons
that
and
the
Maxey,
trade,
yeah.
yeah, it was Maxi Simmons and some picks for James Harden. And
And
mind you, James Harden was showing up. He was acting, not as bad as Ben Simmons, but he showed up overweight. He showed up. He wasn't even trying. He was like he was wearing like 5 layers of clothes and warm-ups, like to try to make it seem like he was obese almost. Like,
is this a thing where you don't try in NBA anymore and try to get out? Look at Blake Griffin. He was part of Detroit. Like, okay, he had the best year in Detroit. He had the best year in Detroit 2 years ago or 1 year
yeah,
ago.
he got was he Eastern Conference All-Star?
I don't think he got it.
Oh, okay.
I
He was
may be
close.
wrong. Hopefully you're right. But then when he came to Brooklyn, he dunked the first game back.
I know.
So I'm
After
like,
not dunking for 2 years. Yeah.
but dude, we should have got Brogdon in the first.
Yep.
I
That
said
that
that in
would
the
that would be
beginning,
another ideal trade scenario because then you have
but we're
a
not going to get
playmaker,
that.
a defender, and a guy who can shoot.
But we're not going to get that. He just signed a 2 years, $40 million or $45 million with the Pacers.
If he's, I mean, the contracts will line up. Simmons is getting paid way more than that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know, but I don't think the Pacers would do that. they were going to talk about
They want him though. They really want him.
like
But
why you don't have
I don't
why?
want to trade him within the conference though, because the Sixers are gonna have to play the Pacers at some point in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that's still a good organization. Remember, we were talking about at the beginning of the summer, we were talking about getting Malcolm Brogdon and Karis LeVert.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. That would be
But
great.
Harris LeVert can't stay healthy. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You
I
know
mean,
who I
luckily,
wanted? Dude,
luckily,
I wanted Spencer Dinwiddie so bad. I wanted
just
Dinwiddie when he went to
Dinwiddie though,
Washington.
but with who else?
I'm just no, he was a free agent, I thought.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, he was a free agent. I was like, dude, I wanted him, but then he went to Washington, which I think that's a good fit. You got him, Beal, Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell. I forget who plays the three though, but anyways, it's just like
Yeah.
that's a good fit for him. They're my dark horse for the playoffs.
Oh, the Wizards. I mean, they made it last year, and they got the Sixers in one game.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
you
mean, I
never.
love Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, you never know. It is I don't think they have Scott Brooks anymore. I think he's gone.
No, no, he's gone. I forget where he went.
Yeah.
Thunder? Who's the coach of the Thunder?
Not Scott Brooks.
Okay, he was. He was.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, he was.
He was back in the day when they had no there's we can feel bad about the Sixers, messing up the whole Markel Fultz, Ben Simmons. Who else did they mess up? Michael Carter Williams, like all those guys who came through here and had so much promise. Jeremy Grant, remember him?
Oh my God! Don't get me started. I have him on my fantasy team.
He's an all-star now. He's literally
Yeah,
an
I love
all-star.
Jeremy Grant. I love him.
Oh my gosh,
Him
he's a
and
gold
Tatum are good.
medalist. Like, yeah, imagine that, man. All those guys who have come
No, I
here.
got you. Christian Wood.
Oh my gosh.
We had Christian Wood.
Oh,
You,
on the
that's
same
on you.
summer league team as Simmons. They were looking
Yeah.
at Simmons' summer league team. They're like, it was Ben Simmons at the one, Alex Caruso at the two. Um, they had
What's it, Jeremy Grant? The two?
Rashawn Holmes,
Rashawn Holmes was the center. Yeah.
Jeremy Grant, and
I forget who the three was. Why do I always forget who the three is?
wait, who did you just say?
Wasn't it Jeremy Grant the three?
Yeah, Jeremy Grant, and then there was one other guy we were literally just talking about him. Oh, Christian Wood at the center. And
Christian Wood
I
was the
think Ben
four.
Simmons was playing
No,
the
Christian
three.
Wood was the four. Rashawn Holmes was at the five, I think.
Yeah, it was something like that. But I remember the lineup being like Simmons, Caruso, Rashawn Holmes, Jeremy Grant, and Christian Wood.
You check. Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, how did this team like that summer league team went? What, like they won like 2 games, 1 game, if that?
Yeah, yeah. And here, you want to hear the funniest thing? When we were talking about Ben Simmons, I remember this. I was on my bed on my phone refreshing Twitter, and once James Harden got traded, I was like, you know what? I wanted Ben Simmons. I said that in the video. I'm like, at that time, I wanted Ben Simmons
Yeah,
because of the potential and all that. And now look where that got me.
I know, dude. That's something that we're gonna regret for a very long time. I can't.
I mean, they didn't want to get rid of Maxi, which I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, but you
yeah.
can't get rid of Maxi or Thibault now.
Yeah, and we can't, and also we can't, like, as much as I want to believe in Tyrese Maxey and that he's going to reach his potential, he needs to be in the right situation. I think the Sixers are a good situation, not the best situation for him, because he needs to be in a situation where he can make a bunch of mistakes. That's what Trey Young was. Trey Young was, mind you, Trey Young was leading like one of the tops in the leagues in turnovers his rookie year or something like
Right,
that.
right, right.
Struggled. He struggled a lot early on. And now you look at him because he went through that entire stage of, being able to make the mistakes, and the Hawks barely won any games. And now look, the Hawks are a perennial, playoff team, top 4 or 5 seed now. So he needs to be able to make a lot of mistakes. And I don't think with Embiid and Harris and the talent they have on this roster, he's not going to be allowed to do that.
Here's the funniest thing about Trey Young. Tweet out, hey, New York City. 2 words, Trey Young. I'm telling you, I'm friends with a lot of New York Knicks creators, and
Yeah.
I just say Trey Young. I DM it to them like every other day. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. And I get DMs from Knicks fans like every day.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm telling you, I
bet.
I didn't get a lot today. I didn't get a lot today, which is good. But I'm like, okay, Knicks fans
Dude,
are still idiots.
I
But
got people from high school hitting me up. Oh, what do you think about the Sixers now? You know?
really,
Yeah. They're like,
like,
what
I
do you
don't
think
get
about
anyone from high school
that?
at all. I
Yeah.
get like from my close personal friends. All of us are Sixers fans, except for maybe like one or two.
Yeah.
And I get it from like Knicks fans. They hate me. Who else hates me? There's so many people that hate me. I just love it. But
Jeez.
it's just like,
I don't hate you, Mitch.
no, I'm talking about Knicks fans, Jazz fans. Um, you love. I gotta love it. It's great. If they
Exactly.
hate you, you're doing something right. I'm telling you right now.
That's a fact, man. That's always a fact.
Yo, I'm having fun here. What's next?
Right. I mean, okay. Did I wrote down that I want to talk about Ben's media availability today. Did he even do that? Because he got kicked out of
No,
practice? Because I
no.
remember it was reported that he was going to be able to do that.
So I was out to lunch with my dad, and then I was on the Sixers YouTube page waiting for the live stream. And then I get these alerts like Ben Simmons got suspended, then the live stream went off.
Yeah.
Live stream went off,
Yep.
and then I kept on getting alerts later that he got kicked out and then all that stuff. I saw on Twitter that he went to a strip club or something.
Oh God. Today, like during the day.
I don't believe everything I read on Twitter. The
Okay.
only thing I read from basketball persons, Rose, Sam's, Stephen
Yep.
A. occasionally here and there.
Yep. Yep.
Chris Broussard, even though
I
he's
think
better.
Chris Haynes, he's another reliable source.
Yeah, yeah. And
Um,
Austin Carell, the Sixers writer,
right.
because apparently I can just DM him whatever and he'll reach out. Like, if you want him for your channel, let me
Yeah.
know. I'll set it up.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I'll set it up, man. You got to follow him on Twitter first.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, I'll set it up for you. I'll like give you his contact and everything.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And all right. So I got one last thing for you. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but there's
dude, I'm
one
not doing
last
anything.
thing I need to hear from you. Okay.
Okay.
Give me your final message to Ben Simmons. Go. You have the floor.
Dude, I can't do this. I've done it so many times, dude. I haven't made a Ben Simmons video in like months.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do I even say? There's
Yeah.
nothing for me to say. That picture I sent you, it's worth it.
Just say what's on your mind, man.
All right, fine. I still have a shirt.
You might not have it very long.
You want it? Like, I'll mail it to you if you want it. But I'm like, okay, Ben, accountability, where's it at? You're acting like a diva with no balls. Um, I'm telling you right now, get your act together or you're not going anywhere. It's an early retirement. Like, wasn't there this one guy who retired? Like, I can't even forget his name. But Ben Simmons, you let so many people down. There's still people defending you. Like, I don't know if you still are. Like, I don't know. But
I still
you don't.
support him, man. I still support
No,
him.
I mean, no. Support them. You can. I respect you for that.
Yeah.
Defenders are when you go into someone's live stream or comments on their video and explain your reasoning. Then they're just there to annoy you and laugh at you because I've done that. So you're not a defender, in my opinion. So
I defended him when I went on your live stream, but
yeah,
I changed my stance in recent.
yeah. Like it took me a while too, but it's just like Ben, you got to do something now. You're being fined again for the suspended game. You're losing more money. Not Rashawn Holmes. Oh my God, Rich Paul, get rid of him. Get rid of Rich Paul. This guy's not doing anything for you. He cost you millions of dollars. You had to sell your house in Morristown. You sold your house in Philly. You bought a house in California with no basketball hoop. Like, who does that? Who buys a like? I was
Yeah.
at, I was at the dinner with a good friend of mine. He's like, Mitch, how does a basketball player buy a house with no hoop? I was watching a video of Drake playing basketball. He has a
Yeah.
huge court
Yeah. It's a
in
full
his
gym.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I'm
Yeah.
like, and Ben Simmons can't even do that. It's just like he doesn't have the passion for the game. That's basically it.
Yeah. No, and I hate to say that I agree with you on a lot of these points. It's very sad to see, someone who I looked up to and someone who I really admired and someone who I was, proud to say was a part of the organization I support with my whole heart and everything. Every fiber in my body says I'm a true Sixers fan, and everything within me, supports every single guy on that roster. And it's just unfortunate to see, some of his recent actions, man.
You know what, dude? I'm gonna tell you this. Make that video.
Make what
Telling
video?
you, make the what you just said. Turn that into a video. I'll help you spread it out.
Like a
But,
short?
huh?
Like a short?
You can do a short like I did, or you can make an actual video like this. And I'm telling you, dude, let people know how you felt defending this guy, even though you say so hard. I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just go like, excuse that, I don't know, you heard that. But it's just like, just let the people how you feel.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll write that down, actually.
You got to do that. I mean, think about it here. How well did that video do? The video I saw of you.
Oh, it
The
did pretty
video.
well. For my standards, it did pretty
How
well.
many views?
I think I had like almost 90 views or something.
That's
Pretty
good.
because
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
My videos recently have been down, but I'm like, hey, if you got 90 videos on that, 90 views on that, imagine what you can do with this because
Yeah.
you turned the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
I'll help you spread it out. Like, I'll do everything I can.
Thanks,
So,
man. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
I got you, man. Whenever you need, I'm here. I'll set you up with Austin. Yeah, I'm in your corner, bro. Whenever you need.
And as I am with you, for sure. Mitch, I really appreciate you, spending time to come out here and talk to me about this. I know you're probably in a bad mood just like I am.
Actually, I'm
And-
not as bad anymore. Like, honestly, I think it's this game. Oh, the Bucks have 69, but it's 69-21 Bucks.
No way.
69-61 Bucks.
Oh, I thought you said
Foul.
21. I was
No,
about to say, oh my
69 to
God.
61.
Okay.
Durant going to the line. But it's just like, yeah, man. I'm actually doing live streams of the game. Like, I'm going to watch the game with people.
Okay.
If you
Oh,
want to come in, man, because I am next week, I have 2 Knicks content creators coming on because we're playing the Knicks. And if you want in that with me, I'm going to need somebody. If you want to be in, man,
For
that's
sure.
up to you.
Hey, man, let me know. I can check my schedule for sure, man.
Yep.
It's
So-
always a good time to talk to you, bro. I appreciate you coming on again. And anything you want to say to the Echols Unlimited audience?
Guys, subscribe to him. Do all the things you can. Share the video, likes. This guy, I've known plenty of people throughout my 6 years that are fake, pay for views, pay for shout outs, all this stuff. I can tell this guy's legit. So please sub him up. I'm gonna do everything I can to help you grow and everything. So
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Mitch. And thank you guys for listening. This has been the Echols